小型化したことで頑丈さが濃縮したか。不死身と無敵の戦いだ。さすがボス様だ。
Hey, Tay.
Hey, Sketch. So we just finished Immortal versus Invincible on Ranking of the Kings, and we get this amazing fight scene where Boss comes in and is beating down Ouken consistently, really showing how to establish a character with the beatdown.
The Worf effect comes in hard for this episode. I mean, we see Ouken take on the Big Four. We see him take on Bojji. We see him take on both Despa calling down lightning, or I guess Daisha calling down lightning, and the Night Captain. He's established as this major threat, and then Boss comes in and just smacks him.
What's the warp effect really quick?
So the Worf effect is when you establish a new character's strength by having them beat down an existing character.
You know what I prefer to call it?
What would you prefer to call it?
The Toriyama effect. Because in every Dragon Ball arc, we literally get our established villain whooped by the new villains. Raditz lands on the planet, he whoops Piccolo, our established villain. Nappa and Vegeta land on the planet, they summon Cybermen equal powers to Raditz. They get beat by the Z Fighters, then only to get beat by Nappa. Vegeta goes to Planet Namek, he gets beat by by Frieza's goons multiple times, and then Frieza. But Ranking the Kings, I think, does it better, by far. Because when they use the Toriyama effect, Ouken has now gone on a tear for 3-4 episodes. And then he just demolishes Boss. Boss just demolished him, my bad.
I don't think people are going to call it the Toriyama effect. I think it's going to stay Worf. I don't even think I'm saying that right. It's from Star Trek. Who even watches Star Trek?
Yeah, but who watches Dragon Ball?
Everyone.
Toriyama effect in action, baby. Let's make it a thing.
It's already established, unless you want to go to TV Tropes and have them change it.
Toriyama effect coming through. Just wait up.
Oh my god. Anyway, so Boss kind of beats down everyone. He beats down... Oh, so anyway, if you want to establish yourself, start on your own character arc. Start off by beating down that subscribe button.
Give it the warp effect.
Worf.
The Toriyama special. So we go back to the whole scene. So Boss is beating down Ouken, and he's creating him into slime juice smoothie multiple times. And he's like, well, this guy keeps regenerating. What am I going to do? And he just starts tapping on the ground randomly.
When I started saying that, I literally thought Boss was just going to play baseball or golf with the little ball.
I thought he was just getting ready to hit a home run around the planet or something. But then he's like, oh, I found what I was looking for. Stud finder, and just yanks out a boulder.
He pulls out a massive boulder, bigger than the hole he pulled it out of somehow. Punches a hole in it, then again turns Ouken into mush, and then just
forms some Play-Doh, crushes him into a ball, stuffs him into the boulder.
We just hear Ouken's hoarse screaming. Everyone's just there disturbed as Ouken just screams his crushed lungs out.
And then Boss is just standing there slowly putting in pieces of rock to close the hole up, and you see the yelling get quieter and quieter and quieter.
This man just closed up the hole with absolutely no agency.
No, definitely agency, but no rush. Real slow. He's just like, 1, 2, 3. He was working hourly on this boulder shift.
Oh man, speaking of Boss, so last episode, it's mentioned that one other person can heal. I thought it was Moranjo. Who did you think it was going to be, Tay?
I guessed it was Boss. I didn't have a reason for it. He's just the only guy left alive. So I just said, you know what? It might just be Boss. Who else can it be?
Well, as it turns out, it is King Boss. So as it turns out, Daida inherited Healing's healing magic.
So he was able to then, Boss taking Daida's body, use Healing's magic, and he healed everyone after knocking him into a corner just for fun.
The man just walked up and smacked everyone into a pile. He could just say, all right, gather the wounded, I'm gonna heal you. Smack Bojji, smack the Big Four, smack Nutsumata,
everybody,
and heal them. And somehow change the time of day while he's at it.
It became sunny as soon as Boss arrived. He really gave those protagonist vibes. I'm here, everything's great.
So, is it safe to say that King Boss was our favorite character during this episode?
He was the only character in the whole episode, but I will give an argument for Sheena. At the beginning of the episode, we find out that Miranjo did kill her on purpose, right? It's confirmed. There's no ands, if, or buts about it. And Miranjo's, how can you forgive me for killing you? And she's like, hate the sin, not the sinner. And I'm like, she's real chill. Real cool. Like, why did you kill her, Miranjo?
And then Miranjo has a little bit of a emotional breakdown. She goes Kaioken but green.
She turned into Brawly. But it was so bad that she ended up in a void of her own mind. Not a good place to be. So speaking of other sets, right? Other than the void, how did you think this episode used the setting to its advantage?
So we have the whole river Styx scene, which wasn't interesting a little bit. I guess that's...
It's a reference to the Greek river of Styx.
So I guess that's how they depict Limbo here. I thought that was pretty cool. A fight with and Boss, do you want to call that a change of setting? Or it went from very gloomy to sunny?
I didn't really care for that, but the use of setting was great. Of all the fighters, Boss is the only one to come up and actually use his setting to his advantage, literally as a stud finder. No one else thought of this. Easy to think of idea that no one else can do.
Stuffing Ouken in a rock? I'm pretty sure King Boss is the only person strong enough to pull that off.
Oh, definitely. But he was invincible, which is pretty crazy, and his clothes.
Oh, apparently he did bleed a little bit, but he didn't really...
I didn't even know when Ouken did those 50 stabs, we still see red but no blood. I think it's Ouken's sword bleeding.
Ouken's sword is bleeding?
Because it's Ouken reforms it with his own blood.
That's how strong King Boss is. He had a Chuck Norris moment. When sword slash him, the swords bleed.
It basically did. The sword cracked when it stabbed him. He didn't break, the sword broke.
Oh man.
Alright, so how did this episode make you feel?
There's a lot of twists and turns. We get some very interesting moments between Sheena and Miranjo. And you know, the sense that, Miranjo's finally getting her emotions back. She's becoming a person back. And on the other hand, King Boss.
Yeah, I think we felt like Bojji, where like you have to see your dad come and save you. But then, like, I don't know if your dad's a good guy or a bad guy. And you're just sitting there in limbo, like, what's going on?
Oh man, speaking of King Boss, do you think he has a grand plan in place?
Because he said he wasn't gonna leave, or he acted like he was gonna leave, and then he left. And he saved them all. Like, but for what purpose? Like, now Bojji's up and ready to fight him, but we don't even know what Boss is planning.
Do you think just finally got out of the cell because Ouken forced his hand?
How does he know?
My best guess is that one of the snakes told Bebin, and then Bebin told Boss. I mean, Bebin knew everyone was in trouble.
Because he has the snakes.
Yeah. Bebin probably.
Well, I guess Bebin did say that there is one more healer available.
Yeah, yeah.
And he is the one that put one and one together, that Boss would inherit healing his abilities.
Well, Daida specifically, but Boss is inheriting or living in Daida's body.
Right. Then another scene we got at the beginning is the devil told Miranjo that she betrayed him twice. How do you think Miranjo betrayed the devil?
Maybe it has to do with the fact that maybe Miranjo promised the devil something and she didn't fulfill her promise?
But twice?
You think... No, it wouldn't be Daida because Daida wasn't born at this moment. Do you think Miranjo promised the devil some strength and it just never came to fruition?
No, I don't think. From the title card, we see Miranjo and the devil, and we see a flashback as the devil as a kid. I'm saying they're childhood friends. I'm sticking with that storyline because the title card scene. I think it's more of a Miranjo just ditched him.
Couldn't really say at this point, but yeah, the devil... So we cut to the scene that Miranjo's almost dying, and we get that bit where, like, devil says, like, oh, you've betrayed me twice so far.
I'll save you this time, but when you die, I get to eat your soul.
Yeah, do you think that's why Miranjo's trying to fight so hard? To stop her soul being eaten by this devil?
Well, I think she's trying to fight so hard is because from what everyone is talking about, the afterlife does seem like a good time. Or not a bad time, Sheena was able to forgive Miranjo. Kage's mom happily was welcoming Kage there. But she understood if Kage didn't want to come now, that he'll be here eventually. And that it's a great time, right? It doesn't seem like the afterlife is so bad, but since Miranjo can't ever access it, but she can see what...
Yeah, that happiness that's just denied to her. Maybe that's why she had that emotional breakdown, because Miranjo has just been denied happiness her entire life. Maybe as a kid she had some.
Yeah, now she's denied eternal happiness. So I think her ultimate goal is just to enjoy something before her soul is forever taken by the devil.
Anyway, for the final bit of this episode, after
Has his Goku moment.
Bojji has the Goku moment after seeing his dad shove the most dangerous person in the underworld and possibly around the second most stuff. It's such a bizarre scene, man.
He crushed him into a ball, stuffed him into a boulder, clay dolled him in there, shoved him in there so he can't get out, can't reform. And now we're wondering, is Bojji gonna fight Boss?
You know what? If it wasn't for the plot, I think Boss would win. It's shown that swords can't really penetrate his skin, and Boss's strength is just immense.
Well, it's shown that Ouken's sword can't penetrate his skin. Right?
Do you think?
Bojji has the ability to have the foresight to see people's weak points. All it takes is one weak point and Bojji to see it.
It all hinges on the point on if Bojji can penetrate Boss with his needle sword.
Well, all I also gotta say is Bojji's the only one that's fully energized now, because he got completely healed. Boss is at half strength just from healing. And assuming he took no energy to beat Ouken, because it looked like it.
I mean, man really put up a fight. He didn't really go blow for blow up against Ouken. It was more pancakes.
Bam, bam, bam. Like Flintstones.
I can't believe you put that together. I can't unsee Bam Bam King Boss now, and I hate it. I hate it so much.
Right, but I'm gonna put my corner into Bojji for 3 reasons, right? Bojji already beat Daida once, but was stopped by Damas by not letting Bojji be Bojji. Now no one's gonna stop Bojji from being Bojji, and this fight is gonna show that he has overcome the overbearing technique that his father has brought to this kingdom, and that he is gonna become the strongest.
And your number 2?
It's Bojji.
To be fair, this is... Yeah. Your protagonist has to win at the end, so... Boss, as much as I would like to put Boss's strength as the reason why he'll win...
He has strength, he can heal himself, he seems like he can hit pretty fast.
Yeah, smashed Ouken in half before Ouken even realized he was in a fight.
Yeah, to be fair, Bojji can move at the speed of lightning.
Yeah, I've been wrong before. In an earlier episode, when we questioned who would win Daisha versus Bojji, I brought up the fact that Daisha can use lightning. That was my one and only counterpoint. And Bojji proved me wrong instantaneously.
By catching lightning.
By catching lightning.
In a bottle.
Well, in a sword.
It's pretty crazy.
In a sword. Oh my god.
I think he's going to catch lightning in a bottle again. You guys stay tuned. Have a good day.
Laters.